Good evening and welcome to the council meeting being held in the council chambers for this Monday, the 24th of June. We'll start with the opening affirmation and acknowledgement of country. We gather to represent the people of Albury who have entrusted us with this task. May our efforts be blessed with insight, wisdom and common sense. May our personal values give us honesty and courage to serve our community effectively and with respect for all. We would like to acknowledge the Wiradjuri people as the traditional custodians of the land that we meet upon today and pay our respects to the elders past, present and future, for they hold the memories, culture, tradition and hopes of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people that contribute to our community. This council meeting is being webcast and recorded. By speaking at the council meeting, you agree to being recorded and webcast. Please ensure that if and when you are speaking at this council meeting that you are respectful to other people and use appropriate language. Albury City accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this council meeting. An audio recording will be made for administrative purposes. Item 3, conflict of interest declarations received and disclosure of political donations. Mr. Zachnich.
Thank you, Mayor King. One conflict of interest declaration received for this evening's meeting from Councillor Glacken, a pecuniary interest. The brief description of the conflict of interest is that Councillor Glacken and members of the immediate family have residences in the Albury CBD near some of the public car parks within the report. The item reference is CM 17.1, confidential provision of car parking, Albury CBD. The action that Councillor Glacken will take is to leave the chamber when the matter is discussed. In terms of disclosure of political donations, there are no development applications before the council this evening, so no further advice is provided there. Thank you, Mayor King.
Thank you. Item 4, apologies. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council receive, note and accept the apologies of councillors Bowen and Cameron and grant leave of absence for the meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Betteridge.
You happy to second the motion, Mayor King?
Thank you. Councillors, we'll put that motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. Thank you. Item 4.2, attendance by councillors at meeting by audio visual link. There is now no one on that. CM5, mayoral minute. I do have a mayoral minute. Councillors, I'd like to take this opportunity for us to publicly recognise and acknowledge our much respected and valued retiring Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Brad Ferris, and his 36 years service to Albury City Council and a total of 41 years in local government. Whilst it was with regret that we've accepted Brad's resignation, we do understand and respect his decision to retire, and we wish him every success and happiness in the future. During his time with Albury City, Brad has held various positions, including engineering designer, services engineer, supervising engineer, civil services team leader, group leader services, and director engineering. After the restructure in 2019 and national recruitment process, Brad was appointed the council's deputy CEO for infrastructure planning and environment. In this role, Brad has carried out his duties with great diligence and commitment. He possesses a team-oriented, can-do attitude, and this has contributed to Albury becoming one of the most livable cities in regional Australia. Brad has been leading a diverse team of approximately 260. Projects managed by Brad during his time with Albury City include, we had to narrow the list, but there's been a few on there, Albury Airport, Albury Waste Management Centre, and Albury City really has become quite the leader in waste management, resource recovery and sustainability fields, Halve Waste Campaign, curbside food and organics collection services, Albury Recycling Centre and the Upcycle Shop, cemeteries and crematoria, asset management, traffic management, design services, water and wastewater management, fleet management, project management, and a high contribution to the Grow Your Own program. Brad was a member of the executive when council was awarded the A.R. Blewett Memorial Award in 2016 for the most progressive council in New South Wales and Albury Airport Regional Airport of the Year in 2016. So on behalf of the councillors and the Albury City team, I would like to say thank you, Brad, for your outstanding contribution to Albury City over the past 36 years, and we wish you good health and happiness into the future. Standing ovation, done well. Next item on the agenda is CM6 action plans. Councillor Thurley.
I thank Mayor King. I move the following action plans be received and noted. 1, actions complete for noting only. 2, actions awaiting response from external parties. 3, actions in progress. And 4, long-term issues more than 3 months.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken.
Through you, Madam Mayor, to second those. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, any councillors wish to speak to this motion? If not, we'll put the motion. Those for, those against, that motion is carried. CM7, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. CM 7.1, minutes of the council meeting held on Tuesday, the 11th of June, 2024 at 6 p.m. Councillor Bettridge.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, I'd like to move that A, the minutes of the council meeting held on Tuesday, the 11th of June, 2024 at 6 p.m. be confirmed. And B, note the administrative correction made to the resolution in relation to item CM 13.9 to show the correct year of the Local Government Remuneration Tribunal's annual report and determination as 2024.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Given it's an administrative issue, happy to put that motion for that clarification, which has been noted there in that motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. CM8, reports from community forums. There are none. CM9, notices of motion, notices of rescission. We have none. CM10, presentations and deputations. There are none. CM11, reports or minutes of committees and working parties. There are none. CM12, documents for sealing. There is none. CM13, officers' reports for consideration. CM13.1, draft Albury City 4-year delivery program and draft 2024-25 operational plan and draft long-term financial plan public exhibition submissions. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that Council A acknowledges the submissions received during the public exhibition period. B, amends the exhibited draft 2024-25 financial assistance schedule by 1, providing the Lavington, North Albury and District Senior Citizens Club Incorporated financial assistance of $2,851 from the Albury City Community Organisation Fund to cover the higher fees at Mirrabina Community Centre for the 2024-25 financial year. C, amends the exhibited draft 4-year delivery program 2024-2028, draft 2024-25 operational plan and long-term financial plan by 1, Oddies Creek Park Place-based Stage 3 Splash Park, increasing project funding by $3.5 million, including awarded grant funding of $2.5 million across the 2025-26 and 2026-27 financial years. 2, Albury Entertainment Centre Convention Wing expansion, increasing the design budget by $1.5 million in 2024-25. 3, Albury Animal Care Centre rescheduling $250,000 from 2024-25 into 2025-26 and increasing 2025-26 by $1.5 million. 4, reallocating $1 million grant funding from Australia Park Car Park pedestrian bridge and levee bank reconstruction work to Fredericks Park Master Plan construction in 2024-25. 5, Albury Waste Management Centre Northern Valley Cell 3 construction rescheduling $1.5 million from 2024-25 to 2025-26. 6, Thaguna Drive and Shooter Avenue intersection rescheduling $270,000 from 2024-25 to 2025-26. 7, Bunton Park refurbishment works rescheduling $250,000 in 2024-25 to 2025-26. 8, annual sewer rehabilitation program rescheduling $1 million in 2024-25 to 2025-26. 9, water infrastructure for Thaguna Willinga Growth Precinct rescheduling $500,000 in 2024-25 to 2025-26. 10, Thurgoona Wallinga sewer upgrades and growth support, rescheduling 500,000 in 2024-25 to 2025-26. D, amends the exhibited draft 2024-25 fees and charges schedule by 1, including the statutory fee for swimming pool safety inspections, section 22 exemption application for the amount of $250 per application. E, adopts the amended draft 4-year delivery program 2024 to 2028, amended draft 2024-25 operational plan and amended draft long-term financial plan. F, votes the expenditures set out in the operational plan for the 2024-2025 year. G, makes each fee and charge for the 2024-25 year in accordance with the exhibited 2024-25 schedule of fees and charges as amended.
And I think, Councillor Thurley, I think we're okay to,
Okay,
now we've covered those
I'm pleased with
key
that.
points. I did clarify with the, because the tables
Thank you.
are certainly available in the report, and well done. Councillor Glacken.
Very happy through you, Mayor King, to second Councillor Thurley's motion, noting that there are a number of tables to go with that, as has been acknowledged. Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification. If Councillor Thurley has caught his breath, does he wish to speak to the motion? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor King. We had a total of 41 submissions for this, which was really great. A number of issues. Footpaths are obviously one big issue in the community. And I think that the amended plan has taken into account most of those submissions. Yes, we didn't do everything that everyone asked, but that's always going to be the case. We have listened, we've responded, and I think we've got a pretty good plan going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaking for Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. Yes, I'll be speaking for the plan. I was away when we endorsed some of the strategies that are existing in the 4-year plan a couple of meetings ago. I just wanted to bring some, highlight a few financial assistance programs. As things become tighter and cost of living crisis happens, we do have to pull back on some things, but I'd like to note that we're still supporting financial assistance organisations that are integral to the fabric of our community. Parklands Albury-Wodonga, the Volunteer Rescue Bureau, the Eisteddfod and Charles Sturt University. And we're also supporting infrastructure that will enhance the positive social outcomes in the community and supporting the 2050 vision of a caring and leading community. We're supporting the Thurgoona Tabletop Community Centres, Albury Hotspurs Soccer Club, Ross Circuit Preschool, Albury Preschool and Westside Community Centre. There are also many more exciting major projects listed for the next 4 years that will support sustainability, enhancing our natural environment and making Albury a more vibrant and livable city. So thank you. Happy to support.
Thank you. Any other speakers for or against? Any questions? I might just have a clarifying question if I can. In relation to the Albury Entertainment Centre convention wing expansion, increasing the design budget by 1.5 million. Can we have a bit of an explanation about those costs, please? Mr. Finlayson.
Thank you, Mayor King. I appreciate the question. The budget increase is associated with a concessional land transfer received from government. In return, there was a requirement to increase our level of investment as part of that funding agreement. And so that's the associated contribution or increase to the design element that we've budgeted for the Albury Entertainment Centre.
Thank you. I just had a follow-up in relation to the Thurgoona Drive and Shooter Avenue intersection. There's rescheduling of an amount which has been pushed back. Am I able to also get some clarification on what's planned there, please? Mr. Finlayson.
Yes, thank you for the question, Mayor King. So yes, with that important project, we're progressing the design and design options and looking to also consult with the relevant stakeholders before commencing construction in the 24-25 financial year. We've spread the budgets to enable any additional costs in the following financial year.
Any further questions or comments? Councillor Thurley, did you wish to close debate? In that case, we'll put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 13.3, Community Strategic Plan Review Draft. Oh, I missed one. 13.2, sorry. Hidden under the big table. Thank you for the pickup. 13.2, 2024 Corporate Strategic Risk Review. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that Council A receive and note the outcomes of the 2024 Albury City Corporate Strategic Risk Annual Review, including identified draft strategic risks, and B, adopt the draft Albury City Risk Appetite Statement.
Thank you. Councillor Gluckin.
Happy to second that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to it?
Mayor King. This is a critical thing for councils to do, to look at what risks they face and what risks they're prepared to tolerate and to what extent. And if I could just raise one, the Auditor General found that many councils in New South Wales were not prepared for cyber risk. And that's one of the things that we have in our statement as being of very high importance and very low risk tolerance. And that sort of thing is critical. The other thing, of course, is climate change. And I think this council has set measures in place to be well prepared for the future. These are critical things to adopt and to keep looking at. And I feel that this council has done well in that regard. Thank you.
Thank you. Question, Councillor Gluckin.
Yes, through you, Madam Mayor, to the most relevant member of staff. And I'm looking at page 63 of our document. Towards the top of the page, it says there are consolidation of 46 strategic risk areas to 11 strategic risks, but then down the bottom it refers to 36 risk appetite, in the little diagram, far left-hand side, 36 risk appetite areas having been identified. So I'm not sure, did we go from 46 to 36 and then subsequently to 11 or? Thank you.
Mr. Finlayson.
Through you, Mayor King. Yes, appreciate the question. We're perhaps approaching the risks we face in two different ways. So one are what are risk categories? So something that could go wrong. And so we identified, I think, say 36 of those categories. We've also been, as councillors and senior leaders, thinking about, well, what's over the horizon? What strategic risks might we face? And through surveys, we've identified, for example, 46 of those. So looking at risk, it's probably two different lenses, but obviously when you get that many, it's a lot to look at. So we've been trying to streamline and bring out what are the key themes, which is where we get to example for 11 themes.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Happy to put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 13.3, Community Strategic Plan Review, Draft Stakeholder Engagement Plan. Councillor Gluckin.
Thank you. Through you to move the recommendation as a motion that council endorses the stakeholder engagement plan for the review of the Community Strategic Plan towards Albury 2050.
Thank you. Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion. Thank you, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Gluckin, did you wish to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you. The Community Strategic Plan started, first commenced here at Albury City Council, to my knowledge, in about 2004, 2005, when we started as a council working with the community to create a plan of what our community wanted to achieve, their vision for our city, to enable us to then undertake the series of works that would provide for that into the future. It was very much a blue sky opportunity. There were a myriad of aspects that people considered important to the future of a city that they wanted to live in. But it provided us with a vision for the future. And as it says in the report, some years later, I think it was 2009, the New South Wales government determined that we would have, or they would mandate that councils would have a community plan moving forward. So I wish to highlight that Albury City Council and our community have had a plan for the future, a longer term plan for the future of our city for a period longer than has been mandated. And over a number of years and iterations, we've gone from what was originally called Albury 2030 to Albury 2050. And it's a requirement that we have a 10-year operating plan. So we have a minimum requirement of 10-year strategic plan. And Albury 2050 clearly indicates that we've projected beyond that minimum requirement. Under that, we then have the 4-year and then the 1-year operational plan. We have a requirement to ensure as a council that that plan is updated on a regular basis, and the next update is commencing very soon. This steps out the process for that to be enabled through the draft stakeholder plan. And I want to highlight the significance of this plan for the future of our city and the need that we have to engage as many people as possible in that stakeholder engagement plan to receive as much feedback as we can from our community to tell us where they want us to be focusing as a council. So this is one of the most important things that we do as a city, is enable this plan by asking our community how they want this plan to be laid out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Glacken. Speaker 4, Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. Yes, I'd like to speak for that. Thank you, Councillor Glacken, for the historical insight as well. When I was elected to Albury City Council, one of the priorities was building capacity for Albury City Council to engage its community. And what I've seen from the team over the past 2.5 years is that they've worked tirelessly to improve connecting with community, going out to community with pop-ups, with QR codes, and every day it's improving. And I think the principles in which they're basing engaging with their community is pivotal to some of that success, that we seek to listen and we value community feedback. And this is a real opportunity for our community to respond about what they like to see in our community moving forward, and hoping that that meets future aspirations for our community. So I'd encourage everyone to get on, have a look, have a say, and be part of the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Callaghan. No other speakers for or against. Councillor Glacken, happy to put the motion. Councillors, those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 14, Officers' Reports for Noting. CM 14.1, Investment Balances, May 2024. Councillor Glacken.
Thank you. Through you to move the recommendation as the motion that Council receives and notes the investment balances report for the month of May 2024.
Councillors, do we have a seconder? Councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Glacken, did you wish to speak to it at all?
Thank you. No.
Speaker 4, Councillor Callaghan, or accidental? All good. In that case, no other speakers for or against. We will put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. Thank you. CM 14.2, Domestic and Family Violence Services Support. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that Council receives and note the contents of this report.
Councillor Callaghan.
Happy to second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you. Councillor Thurley, did you wish to speak to it?
Very briefly, I think this is an excellent report, and a report that is so important in our community. One only has to read the Border Mail. Every day we see at least one report of a domestic violence incident. But this report shows that Council is doing everything it can, and obviously we've called upon the New South Wales Government to step up and try and do more. We've got a number of initiatives. The Albury Project is one. Now, that you might wonder why that's relevant to domestic violence, but this is targeting young men and women who may leave school early before Year 9, and they are then at risk of homelessness and other things, drug addiction and so on. And these are all factors in domestic violence. The other thing is we've got school programs that looking at young men and women and talking to them about this and getting them to be engaged and to listen. So I think that we're doing whatever we can. And I know in the safe space for women, we've also got a great initiative on the pathway at the moment. So we're doing what we can, and we're calling on other authorities and other levels of government to do what they should be doing to improve this situation, because it's horrendous.
Thank you, councillor Thurley. Councillor Callaghan.
Thank you, Mayor King. I'd like to speak to the motion. It is imperative that government at all levels takes a leading role in supporting services that support women and children fleeing domestic violence within our community. We have a problem in Australia. In 2022 to 2023, 34 women were killed by a current or previous intimate partner. And in 2024, the sad reality is we keep on counting. There must be a coordinated approach to ending violence against women. Advocacy in this space is welcomed, and to see the actions that Albury City Council has participated in, working to reduce violence in our community to date, has been extensive. However, there is still more to be done. As a community and as a nation, this is everybody's job. Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Callaghan. Happy to put the motion, councillor Thurley? Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 14.3, Prevention of Domestic and Family Violence and Employee Support. Councillor Edwards.
I move that this council receive and note this report.
Thank you, councillor Thurley.
Second the motion, Mayor King.
Thank you, councillor Edwards. Would you wish to speak to it?
Just briefly, I wanted to highlight the mention of the staff paid parental leave review in the report, which is still underway. And just to highlight that raising awareness and providing leave when violence has already happened isn't enough, and that council also has a key role to play in the primary prevention of family and domestic violence, including initiatives that address the primary or underlying drivers of family and domestic violence, like gender inequality. So good paid parental leave available to all new parents is well recognised to improve gender equality. Some council staff in this country have access to up to 16 weeks of paid parental leave, which I think is a pretty good benchmark. So increasing this council's staff paid parental leave is a tangible opportunity to reduce family and domestic violence in our community by improving gender equality as one of this city's biggest employers. Good paid parental leave is also another great way to attract and retain staff. So I look forward to this council being provided with a further update about the findings of the review.
Thank you, councillor Edwards. Any other speakers for or against? Happy to put the motion. Those for? Those against? That motion is carried. CM 15, delegates' reports for noting. We have none. Notice of urgent business. We have none. CM 17, confidential matters. Councillor Thurley.
Thank you, Mayor King. I move that council moved into confidential to discuss the item CM 17.1, as this is a confidential item exclusive of press or public on the grounds that the matter relate to two. The matters and information are the following. D, commercial information of a confidential nature that would, if disclosed, 1, prejudice the commercial position of the person who supplied it.
Thank you. Are there any statements or submissions?
Second to first.
Oh, sorry, second to first, sorry. Thank you, councillor Edwards.
Happy to second the motion, making.
Thank you. Are there any statements or submissions from the public regarding the reasons as identified for this confidential item CM 17.1? No submissions. Do we wish to proceed with the motion to move into confidential, councillors? Those for? Those against? That is carried. I'll close the meeting, close council, sorry, at 6:29 p.m. And the motion to move into confidential now being carried. For our live stream viewers, we will now say goodbye, and you can find the outcome of this confidential session in the meeting minutes, which are published on the Albury City website within 2 business days. Also noting that councillor Glacken has left the meeting in relation to this confidential meeting, having declared a conflict earlier.